Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
All right, guys, today's show is brought to you by the Ridge Wallets. You've heard us talk about this before, but if you search down into your pocket right now, you probably have an old-fashioned, sweaty, gross wallet full of receipts and business cards and crap. And if you travel, various different types of currency that you don't use, unless you're called Louis J. Gomez, that never goes outside of New York. But if you want to get 2019, you want to get fresh, you want to impress people every time you pull your wallet out. If you want to check into a hotel and people say, wow, this guy is well-traveled. If you want to just like pay for a drink at a bar, pull your wallet out and just blow people's minds, and men or women want to give you their number, then let me tell you, Ridge Wallet is the way to go, Lewis.
I love my Ridge Wallet. I got it in my hand right now. It's almost like you're out of the future. It's not a regular wallet. It's not that big hunk of shit that you have that you're sitting on all day. It makes you uncomfortable. You have receipts, cards that you don't use, business cards of people that you're never going to call. The Ridge Wallet, it makes your life nice and slick. It's exactly the size of a credit card or a business card. You put your cards right into it. You pop them out with a little flick of your finger. It's like you're from the future. When I first pull this up, people look at me like I'm a Terminator. They're like, holy shit, this guy must be from 30, 40 years in the future, because this is some unbelievable technology that I've never seen. The one that I have is carbon fiber. They take 2 carbon fiber plates. They're strapped together with a little money clip. Go to ridgewallet.com and check out the inventory. Just take a look. You're going to want to buy one. It's the coolest looking wallet I've ever seen. I love it. Every time I pull one out, anybody who sees it, they want one as well. And we give you a pretty damn good deal. I'll tell you right now.
We do, Lewis. But I want to say that if you turned up as the Terminator, it would be the least effective Terminator that Cyberdyne Systems could have ever sent. Okay, they'd be like, "Wow, the Terminator has really let himself go." But by God, he makes all up for it by having this crazy, futuristic, minimal front pocket wallet that's designed to let you ditch your bulky wallet. The Ridge Wallet is slim, RFID blocking, and lifetime guaranteed. It's the last wallet that you will ever need to buy. It comes in titanium, carbon fiber, aluminium, or aluminum for those Americans, and polycarbonate, and over different styles and colors, Lewis. And if these people wanted to buy one, we have a fantastic offer. As always, tell them the details, Lewis.
Ridgewallet.com/BYM. That is RIDGEWALLET. Ridgewallet.com/BYM, and or use that promo code BYM in the link in the description. You're going to save 10% off your Ridge Wallet. This is a great gift. Give a gift to yourself. Fuck it. You don't need to wait for the holidays or a birthday. It's a great gift for yourself. Ridgewallet.com/BYM. Use that promo code BYM. Save 10%. And best of all, it helps out the show. All right, let's get started.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the fuck up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael "The Count" Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Believe You Me, episode God knows what, who cares, not relevant. Today's the first, all right, 107. Thank you, Lewis. Today's the first day back, if you know what I mean. It's very different in America to England. But in England, over the 2 weeks of Christmas and New Year, everything tends to shut down. But not out here in America. You guys, you know, you're very wholesome. You're all still working and fucking going after your careers. But in England, everything shuts down. Everything for 2 weeks pretty much, and then we get back to business today. So I'm officially back to business. When I said in the new year I'm not going to drink, that means from today. Okay, so
that's
new
not today.
Year, new me.
Today's January 7th.
That starts today. Yeah, but this is the first start of a week.
Why?
You know
How
what
hammered
I mean? Last
did you
week
get
didn't
this
count.
weekend? What'd you do this weekend? Who did you hurt?
I didn't do anything. I didn't hurt anybody. I'll be fucking hurting you in a minute, Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I've just had to sit through 45 minutes of Lewis losing his shit. Lewis, I'm very zen in 2019. I do not lose my temper. I do not suffer fools, but I don't let it bother me. The insignificant actions of others will not affect my aura, my being, my wellness, my mental space. It will not affect it, Lewis.
They're not insignificant actions. They're extremely significant actions. It is the entire production team here at Gas Digital. In order to make the show get off, they have to do things the right way. And I will tell you right now, you obviously have never seen me lose my temper. Because if you thought that was me losing my fucking shit, that was me. That was a walk through the park with me. That was nothing. You know what the difference is? You never hear me actually get angry at Shannon. And today me and Shannon are having a little bit of a back and forth, which doesn't happen often. So it's a new feeling for you.
Well, hold on. Shannon, allow me to have your back. Because I remember once I ever so slightly took a wrong tone with Shannon and you fucking went on at me. You lectured me in front of all your staff. And I was like, step into my office, motherfucker. Why? Because you're fucking fired. And then you're going to get knocked out. I'm like, who the fuck are you speaking to? Shannon, what did he say to you? How did he address you? I will not stand for this, Lewis.
I really, really was trying to be very respectful, even though I felt like I was right and he was wrong.
Oh, here we go. Don't get me fucking going. Oh my God, we're going to fucking have a problem.
So, hold up. She's being oppressed. She's being sexually harassed. She's being berated. Dude, you got a fucking major lawsuit on your hands soon, Lewis, if you're not careful.
Sue me, Shannon. I fucking hope you do. No, here's the truth. Let's pull the curtains out. It's the first show of the year. This is the difference between Believe You Me and everybody else. We're not afraid to pull the curtain aside. It's one of the beautiful things about our show. You get a little bit of a fucking autopsy of the show. We have two amazing guests booked for today by courtesy of Michael Bisping, who is a new Michael Bisping. Yesterday must have done probably fucking been snorting lines of Adderall or something because you were on a tear. Just fucking text after text, all notes for the show, bookings for the show, studio spaces around Orange County. Michael Bisping it was a new Michael Bisping, and you were very committed to the show, and I was so happy about this. I'm still happy about it.
I told you I'm not drinking when I don't look at these cheekbones. Look at this chiseled physique. I mean, look at this. Whoa.
By the way, this motherfucker did show up shirtless when we did earlier. He showed up on camera shirtless.
I just came in from the gym, okay, and I was getting changed, and I didn't know that there was people around. I was just, every time we have to restart the computer about 30 times to make it work. So I was just like, I'll just do that, save Lewis giving me a lecture, and Shannon and Harrington, Mike, can you restart your computer? I'm like, I've fucking done it a million times. I thought, you know what? I'll do it now, and then I'll jump into the shower.
Everyone's afraid to mention a wired internet connection to you. That's like a theme around here at Gas Digital. If you mention wired internet, be prepared for Michael Bisping to blow up and hang up on you.
I had Best Buy around my house at the weekend, and they said the only way of putting wired internet into this room, which, by the way, I ended up hanging up on the phone with a guy. He came to my house 9 a.m., which was my idea on Saturday morning. Didn't really think that one through. Ended up staying up a little bit too late watching movies. And then at 9 o'clock in the morning, there's a knock at the door. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh shit, it's the Best Buy guy. So then I had to bring him in the room, all those records in the background, drag them out the way, pull all the decks out. This place was upside down an hour ago, Lewis. And then he said, yeah, the only way of putting hardline Wi-Fi into this room is by going through all the walls, ripping out all the walls and everything. And then you're going to have to get a contractor in to repair all the damage. And I thought, that's bullshit. In this day and age, don't tell me you can't run a wire from the port upstairs along the skirting board, drill one hole in the wall, come downstairs here, whoop, one other hole through the wall, boom, there you go.
I agree with you. I think this guy's he's a fucking liar. He's trying to ban you out for more money. He sees your half mansion that you own. He sees your beautiful family, the multiple cars that you own, and he's going, this guy is a sucker. I'm going to get more money out of this guy. I say get a second opinion because there's no fucking way we can't have a wired internet in that room without destroying your home. It's impossible.
Well, a few things. One, yes, I'm not willing to destroy my home to get a little bit of wired. I'm okay. Rip out the walls, the floors. Let's go. We need an ever so slightly faster internet connection for the show. No, not willing to do that. But he did say there is another method. You can update everything, new routers, all that type of shit. But you always say half mansion, which implies two things. One, that I'm, lofty, snooty pants over here, that I'm rich. But two, that I only live in a half mansion. So, I want to be there, but I'm not. It is neither a mansion or a half mansion or anything like that. It is just a decent house. Listen, I know you live in that rat-infested, shithole, smog-ridden city called New York, okay? But
You
just
love
because
it.
I live in
You
a
fucking love it.
regular-sized house.
You would move here in a heartbeat, you liar.
Do not speak over me. I do not want to digitize, Lewis. We know this. Rule 17, no interruptions. That rat-infested shithole of a city, just because I live in a regular house, do not infer that I'm Mr., little Lord Fauntleroy with a huge house over here.
Well, you know what? It's how you perceive it. The glass is half full, the glass is half empty. I say half mansion. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't know. Somebody sounds like they're a little self-conscious about his half mansion.
I'm not self-conscious. I'm just saying that it's not a mansion or a half mansion. It's just a house. It's a regular.
It's pretty fucking big, doggy.
It's a 5-bedroom house, family home.
How many bathrooms?
There you go. 4.
How many square feet?
4,700.
What's the definition of a mansion? Give me a square footage. There has to be a definition, right?
Hold on. This is the most wankiest discussion ever to have. They're like, oh, now we're debating whether or not Bisping lives in a mansion. I would say to live in a mansion, you'd have to have your own land, a driveway.
8,000 square feet is the definition?
With my auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
Doggy.
What?
8,000 square feet is the definition of a mansion. How many square feet do you have?
I live in a half mansion.
You live in a half mansion.
Hold on. No. Do not reward this tyrant. Okay? I heard the abuse that you guys take. Do not fucking air horn this motherfucker. Half mansion. No, it's a mansion or it's not a mansion. You either had Turinabol in your system or you didn't. Okay? There is no gray area. You're either wasted behind the wheel or you're sober. You cannot say, what do you live in? What do you live in? An apartment?
How many square?
A studio apartment?
No, 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in New York City. All right, it's pretty impressive.
So if you have
actually.
half, it sounds pretty good. But if you had half a bath and half of something, it wouldn't be half an apartment. It'd be a weird fucking dwelling that isn't fit for human habitation.
How many square picograms is your apartment or your house? I don't know.
Well, on the first few tests, it's never showed up.
Well, let me tell you what happened. Okay, so we booked these 2 amazing guests. We have Anthony Smith calling in shortly, and we have Alexander Volkanovski. We pre-taped the interview a little bit earlier this afternoon, and we're going to be playing that a little bit later on in the show. It's a great show planned today. By the way, guys, amazing show planned today. 2 guests to start the year off, which is incredible. We rarely even have guests going above and beyond for the fan base this year. Michael Bisping is. But we knew this yesterday, and you texted me and Harrington and said, hey, we have these guests. You're texting us, different notes for the show. It was awesome. Now, Harrington, the reality is this would happen. Harrington never clued Shannon into any of this. Shannon's a producer of the show. Me and you are hosts. We're just having a conversation. My assumption is Harrington's going to have a conversation with Shannon, but I never micromanaged the work. I never checked with Harrington, and Shannon didn't know about the guests. She didn't know about any of this, and she put it on Harrington to have everything set up, and of course everything got fucked up because Harrington's fucking brainless. Shame for who? Which one? Shannon, Harrington, pick one. You know what?
No.
The whole Gas Digital.
Listen, okay, I'll sign off on that. As you rightly said, here's me yesterday putting in lots of effort throughout the week, sending little tidbits of information. Oh, we should discuss this on the show. This would be hilarious to break down. Yes, we should do this. I'm looking into studios. I'm booking guests. I'm going above and beyond. I said, let's do a production call. Let's do this. Let's get the guests. Harrington, you reach out. You make sure they've got the technical specifications at their end. So therefore, I sound all like fancy pants. I say, okay, my producer's going to reach out to you, okay? And make sure you get it all dialed in. And I thought there would be conversation. There would be dialogue back and forth. Hi, Mr. Smith, Mr. Volkanovski. Would you prefer to call in or perhaps do a video call? Oh, video call, you say? Well, you're going to need headphones and a microphone and Google Chrome. You haven't got that? Okay, perhaps we'll just go down the standard route of a phone.
Are you a professional producer? You sound like you're a pro, dude.
I became one.
This is incredible.
I've become one. Yeah, so I sit down, I go in, I have my workout, I come back, I have a delicious, nutritious turkey burger. Thank you, Mrs. Bisping. Get showered before getting dressed, pop in, restart the computer, as you mentioned.
Show that chest.
Sit down, do the interview. Technical difficulties to the max. The opposite of a bow applies.
Shame. It's a shame, though.
Shame. Big shame. But let's move on.
We'll move on. We got Anthony Smith calling in a few
Monday
minutes.
Morning.
Yeah, it's a Monday, first show of the week. We're doing another show this week as well, guys. So we're giving a lot this week for sure. I think on Friday we'll get a second one in. Anthony Smith calling in a little bit. The big news is yes, Michael Bisping.
I was going to say, and I'll be in Brooklyn, well, in New York next week for multiple shows. I'm hoping Wednesday night, maybe a Friday, maybe a Sunday. Who knows? I mean, you know, if you can squeeze me into your very, very, you know, big time diary that you have there, Lewis. But what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, I was just going to talk a little bit about Anthony Smith. Is this official now? Is he officially fighting Jon Jones? Has it been announced, or has it sort of been just announced by both of them?
No. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Harrington.
I was obviously talking to the all-knowing Mike in the room.
You look right at me, Lewis. So apparently Dana White came out, told TMZ that it is a go. The only thing that could hold it up is whether or not Nevada State Athletic Commission is going to punish Jones for the irregularity of the picograms. But Dana White says...
Oh, you mean the failed drug test?
It's an irregularity.
It's an irregular. There was some kind of strange technical irregularity that cannot be fathomed, explained, or understood. It's just weird. Oh, you mean the failed drug test? Okay, all right. I mean, I guess that would be the only holdup. You know, incidentally, Daniel Cormier called me this morning, and we had a little chat about a few things, which shall remain nameless. The reason he called is because Callum is back wrestling now. He's recovered from his surgery.
I saw that.
Won. Yeah, he won a tournament at the weekend, got a belt, his first ever belt to go with his massive medals. And at the weekend, DC has a wrestler that's ranked #1 at state, Callum's #4, and he's like, oh, we're going to be there at the same tournament at the weekend. So we were talking a bit of shit. We did talk about Jones and all that type of stuff, but, you know, circle of trust, baby. I can't break it.
Rule number 19, can't break the circle of trust, but... I'm sure you can give us a little tidbit, something that if a fly was on the wall, they could pick up, just a little crumb.
Okay, I'll give you a crumb. I'm so easy. I'm so pathetic. Well, I saw that Brendan Schaub on his show was saying that I'm breaking a lot of circles here. Brendan Schaub on his show was saying that DC, I don't know if you saw it. I saw a little highlight on YouTube. He said, DC's got to be careful because, you know, he's not indisposable. He could get fired, you know, and something like that because he was talking shit. And, you know, DC said that isn't an issue, you know, and the UFC have never said anything like that. Like I used to talk a lot of shit. Dana never, ever once called me and said, you need to stop saying this, or you need to start saying this. You need to give us props for that and stop saying that. He never, in all the 12, 13 years that I fought for the UFC, he never, ever said that. And DC also alluded to the fact that Dana didn't give a fuck. He can say whatever he wants, which is fair enough. Got to respect that.
Yeah, it's also, look, when you have the heavyweight strap and you are an extremely popular fighter, he also reaps some of those benefits as well. I think that DC gets away with a little bit more. Now, you look at somebody like Ben Askren, who for a very long time was, you know, banished from the UFC, and Dana White wouldn't even have the conversation about him. And it was because he was very vocal, but it was more than just being vocal against the UFC and expressing an opinion. It felt like Ben Askren was almost trolling Dana and trolling the UFC and sort of trying to get under their skin. And it seemed to get personal there. It was almost like, yeah, well, fuck you, dude. You're not going to be the star that you want to be in America because you sort of need to get through here in order to do it. So it's a little bit of a different thing. There are rumors, though. I mean, obviously there was, who's the famous one that I was thinking of? John Fitch.
Rumors regarding
just sort of about if you're not towing the company line about how they'll fucking, you know, that's that. John Fitch was I guess the guy who has had a lot of beef with the UFC, and I like John Fitch a lot, but it seems to be another guy who spent a lot of time going out of his way to shit on the organization, and it's like, well, dude, you're not going to really do yourself any favors. If I work in a fucking deli and the boss at the deli, I keep on calling him a fucking asshole, I'm probably not going to get a raise. I'm probably not going to move up in the ranks at the deli. I'm probably never going to be one of the big guns there.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I don't know John Fitch. He was a very good fighter. He didn't have the most fan-friendly style, obviously very wrestling dominant style that wasn't particularly exciting. Was he effective? Was he good? Yes, he was. But he did, as you say, also went out of his way to talk a little bit of shit. And I never understood fighters that do that, fighters that go out there and publicly talk shit about the UFC. And as you said, liken it to any job. A lot of people listening to this show right now, they may be at work, and shout out to all those people that message and say, I'm listening to the show. You get me through my day at work, or I'm driving a truck or whatever. They love listening to the show. So shout out, guys, because I used to be one of those people. I used to work shifts. I used to work factory work, all that stuff. So I'm glad we can make your day a little more fun. But if you're one of those guys and you're publicly talking shit, if for some reason a newspaper does an article on your place of work and they come in and they speak to you and you say, oh yeah, this place run by a set of dickheads, can't stand the fucking boss, they don't pay us anything, blah, 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 blah. And you go on, guess what? As you said, you're probably not going to get promoted anytime soon. And the first time they can get you out the back door, you're gone. You know what I mean? Now, unfortunately,
you better keep on fucking winning. You better have that title. You better, because that's the thing with, you know, DC is in a very different position than a lot of other guys. So I guess it's a little bit, and same thing for you. You've been a star. You've been the dude that was sort of like, you know, at the head of European, you know, MMA, you know, UFC, like you're the dude, you know? So I think it was, but it's sort of rightfully so. You kind of get it. I've done sales jobs before. Let me tell you something. I was like a good salesman, and I would always go 150% of my goal. And my boss would never come in my office and look at my fucking notes, would never give me shit, would never ask me how long my lunch break was. Because you know what? I was going above and beyond, and I was killing it every time, and it didn't matter. The other guy who wasn't doing that, well, I'm sure his lunch break was scrutinized. I'm sure the amount of time he took to go for a workout, or if he wanted to spend, you know, time bullshitting on the internet, it's a different thing. So it's also the quality of work as well.
Did you also spaz out your work colleagues at work the way you do Shannon and Harrington? I mean, what I was exposed to earlier, I'm shocked that a human being could be so disrespectful to another. I mean, for me, in 2019, it's all about positivity, bro. It's all about treating other people how you wish to be treated. And that, Lewis, was shocking. I'm disgusted. I'm offended. You owe them an apology. Please, before the fans, the listeners, the subscribers, the believers, apologize for yourself.
Fine.
For your soul.
Fine. I'll take this moment, and I would like to publicly apologize to Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen for the remarks we made about them a couple months ago. I'll apologize again. I can't apologize enough. All right, Rogan, I'm sorry.
There you go. Now we're finally talking. Now we're getting to the bottom of it. I feel
better
because I thought you were going to say, yeah. Doesn't that feel better?
Feel a little
better.
Get that
load off, that negative baggage that you've been carrying around.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gone. You've worked it out of your system. You've removed the demons. I thought you were going to say, I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody.
Boom.
The owner of Gas Digital does what the fuck he wants.
It's true.
But no. But I see you waving your hand there. Would that lead me to believe we have a certain Lionheart?
Well, yeah, we're gonna go to Anthony Smith in just a moment here, which I'm very excited to talk. I interviewed Anthony Smith on UFC Unfiltered podcast with Jim Norton and Matt Sarah, good friends over at the UFC Unfiltered podcast. We do, kid. I know we bust their balls as well, both Jim Norton and Matt Sarah, but we love those guys as well. Yes, Mr. Bisping.
They're the best. They're the best. Let me give you a quick Anthony Smith story before we get started. So last weekend we worked together on Fox, which is why I have his phone number. And he's a very nice guy. He really is. Very, very, very. I saw a lot of myself in him. Just a very hardworking, working class guy trying to make the most of it. I went to the gym. I worked out. I came back. I was going to have a turkey burger at the bar, one beer. Okay. I had a turkey burger and when was this? 2 weeks ago. No, the New Year's Eve show, whenever the fuck that was, the Jones Gustafson show last week. And there was a couple of UFC supporters at the bar, and they went, oh, man, let me buy you a beer. So obviously you can't say no. You know, they've bought you a beer. So I have a beer. So now I've had 2 beers. And I'm like, oh, I'll have one more. I was going to go to bed. Then Anthony Smith shows up with his fiance and his fiance's friend. So we sit at the bar, have some tequila, some more tequila. I don't remember going to bed, if I'm honest. That was my last drink of 2018. And Anthony Smith, I think he was the... What's the word I'm looking for? The facilitator, not the facilitator. What's the word? He told me that everybody was pouring their tequila into my glass when I wasn't aware, because there's a reason why I felt like shit the next day, and he was totally fine, the prick. So, but yeah, great dude. And Yeah, I was there on the desk.
All right, Mike, real quick, before we get into the Anthony Smith interview, let's talk about BetDSI, which is a great sponsor of the show. If you love MMA, you've probably thrown a couple bucks down on the sport before, and you know, it makes it a hell of a lot more fun. You know, if you were to gamble on anything, if I were to gamble on the next person to make a mistake in the Gas Digital sound booth, and we were to put $20 on it, Shannon or Harrington, I guess we'd be enjoying the mistakes that are made a hell of a lot more than we're enjoying them today. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, you are correct, but you'd have to like be quick because there's a lot of mistakes made. So like to catch them, you'd be like
in-game wagering.
You'd have to have like supersonic, some kind of fucking like chum like expert counter catching all the mistakes, and BetDSI would be out of their mind paying up on them.
No,
but
they won't, because they have in-game wagering, and that's one of the true hidden features about BetDSI that nobody else has. While it's happening, you can gamble, baby.
And on top of that, they've been in business for over 20 years. So you know that it's a top-rated business on all sports book review sites. It has an easy-to-use, fast-playing interface. Bet games is the go, as you just said. Great customer service, 24/7, 365. BetDSI has built a reputation on fast payment of winnings. As you said, Anthony Smith, Jon Jones, if you want to get a little fruity, if you want to put a little flutter down, I'd say take that money, put it on Anthony Smith right now. Yeah. He'll be a massive underdog. And of course, if you use BetDSI, we have a fantastic offer for them, Lewis.
Yes, we do. If you guys use the promo code BYM120 at BetDSI.com, that is BYM120 for Believe You Me, that lets them know that we sent you there. And if you would like, you can opt in for a 60% bonus match for anything you spend up to $1,000. So if you put $1,000 down, you get to play with $1,600. It's pretty damn amazing. Free money. Just so you know, a little side note, I want to let the fans know, if you opt in for the bonus cash, you have to, that bonus money has to roll over. You have to gamble with it a certain amount of times. So just be wary of that. If you don't opt in for any bonus cash, you get paid out right away. So just know that before you go put your money down, how it all works. But use that promo code BYM120. It lets them know that we sent you there. It helps out the show in a massive, massive way. And if you want some extra cash to play with, use that promo code BYM120. Opt in for that 60% bonus. All right, let's get Anthony Smith on the line.
We got him on right now?
He's on the line right now. Ladies and gentlemen, UFC 205-pound standout and now possible title challenger to Jon Jones, Mr. Anthony Smith joins the Believe You Me podcast. Anthony, you there?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Hey,
We're good. We got it.
What's up, buddy? Thanks for joining us, Anthony. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
I was just telling Lewis and the guys that you guys were spiking my tequila at the bar a couple of weeks ago. That every time I looked to where you said you were pouring your tequila into my glass, and that's why I was so hungover the next day.
Yeah, well, you kept ordering them.
Well, of course, I'm trying to give you the initiation. I'm like, okay, he's here, first time at Fox. Let's get to know each other. And you were letting the side down, Anthony. I'm kind of disappointed in you.
Well, the joke was on you.
No, it really was, because I was dying the next day. But anyway, listen, welcome to the show. Dude, since we spoke, massive news. Is this official? You are fighting for the title March 2nd, I believe, against Jon Jones. Is this official?
It is official.
That's great.
It is. It is also, well, it's contingent on him getting licensed, but it is, they seem very confident that there's not going to be any hiccups in the licensing process.
Well, let's hope so. Who knows? Maybe they move the fight to Russia or somewhere if he doesn't. But dude, so it would appear, and as we joked via text, I mean, I will take 10% of that. You know, I feel like I had an instrumental part in setting this up, Anthony. It's all down to me. It's not down to your hard work, you beating Uzdemir, Shogun, or Rashad. It's down to that 30 seconds on our shit talk.
Absolutely, and that's why I sent you the text, is I have to give you all the credit for it. But I honestly do believe that that little exchange that we did have, that you kind of did push a little bit, it definitely didn't hurt. That's for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's weird that in this day and age, it's kind of a sad thing that things like that do help sell a fight and does make fights. Of course, this is a huge fight for you, and I'm in your corner, Anthony, and I'll be cheering for you. When we watched the Gustafsson fight, Is there anything that you saw that you think you can capitalize on?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. I think that, you know, just off the bat, his willingness to back up, you know, for a guy like me that's just not smart anyways. I've always been the most dangerous when my opponents are backing away from me. That's just how my style has worked. And I don't think that that's a secret, but I also think as we were sitting there at the desk watching him, that I think we've seen a different guy. He wasn't quite as quick as he always was. His movements weren't as smooth as they'd always been, you know, and the biggest difference I've seen was his mentality. You know, he didn't have that uber arrogance, you know, that tends to work for him. I think that his arrogance is one of his biggest tools when he's in the octagon. He just doesn't believe that there's anything that you can do that's going to work, and if it does work, it's not going to work twice. And I didn't quite see that in full effect.
No, you're absolutely right. We even discussed that. Do you think, though, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, do you think that maybe that was due to the layoff, and now that he's having a quick turnaround, maybe you'll see an improved version?
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. You know, and that's kind of where I was going to go. It could have been the layoff. It could have been the stress from the controversy that was surrounding it, you know, and you know, everyone hates him and the fighters are mad at him, and he's just, you know, that's just an uncomfortable place to be, I would imagine. So, yeah, I would very much agree that could be the case. But I'm preparing for the best Jon Jones, not you know, a lower version of him.
Well, what about you, Anthony? Are you mad at him? Do you think Jon Jones cheated the system, or is not playing by the rules?
Yeah. I mean, here's I don't know when this became black and white, or when this wasn't black and white anymore. Like, when did we have gray areas? That's what I don't understand. It was, if you have a banned substance in your body, you're guilty. You know, and you know, there's the off chance that there's a few guys that have been able to prove that they were tainted supplements, which I think there's its own narrative there. I think that there probably is some cases of that's valid, but I also think that there's ways around that whole system. But you don't. He failed, and he's done it several times. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm going to fight him and that I want to fight him, and I'm okay at this point. If I want to be the world champion, he's got the title. So at this point, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. It's about what's going to happen, and I'm going to fight him. And I just hope that he's tested, you know, to the fullest extent possible, and that he can keep his shit together as far as that goes until the fight happens. Is
it a foregone conclusion that he will more than likely be cheating in one way or another? And does that bother you? Because I mean, it's obviously it shows some sort of mental weakness. You had mentioned that before, but going into the fight, do you kind of say, all right, well, you know what? That's in a weird way, I've heard fighters describe that as almost being a good thing because of that mental weakness.
Oh, well, I don't think any time you have a guy with a banned substance or a performance-enhancing drug in his system that there's ever a way you can look at that as a total good thing. But there's definitely positives that you can look at as far as the mindset goes. But I think, and you know, I don't want to sound like I'm the guy that's just going to throw Jon under the bus, but it's, you know, like I've always said, I'll only talk about Jon professionally. But Jon has historically kind of been a dirty fighter anyways. He doesn't necessarily always break the rules, but Michael can attest to what I'm talking about. Like, you know, the oblique kicks, it's just kind of known.
The eye
pokes in our circle is just like a dirty thing. You know, like the cranking on, was it Glover? They overhooked him and just like cranked his elbow in. Like, that's not like a move. That's just doing shit to be an asshole. You know, and just little shit. You know, the
dropping Machida, you know, on his head. When he, like, after he finished, just
consistently poking people in the eyes. And he's just, like, he doesn't always break the rules, but he's dirty. And that's just who he is. And if you got to go in there expecting shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but I think, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying there, Anthony. I really do. Certainly the eye pokes, that's always one for Jon Jones as well. If you put all that to one side, you know, of course, he is an incredible fighter. So what you're looking to do, though, is to go out there and be the first man to legitimately beat Jon Jones, which if you could do that, Anthony, I mean, you're making history, you're winning the belt, you're setting the legacy, and you're making history. I mean, this is a massive, massive opportunity for you. Are you going to be training as normal in Kansas City, or are you going to do anything special for this?
I'm already in Denver right now. So I got here this morning. I'm gonna be here until the fight. Of course, I'll go home on the weekends and see my family and stuff. That never changes. But I'll be here with Mark Montoya, and it's been real cool, man. The whole team is kind of rallied around me. There's 30 or 40 professionals on the fight team, and everybody's kind of just surrounded me, and we're going to do whatever it takes. And I think the programming will be a little bit different. Obviously, we're dealing with a different animal here. So, they're working on the schedule and what that really looks like. But, I mean, we're all systems go, the entire team.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest fight of your career, obviously. Are you feeling the pressure yet? Or just, just talk to me a little bit about that, because this is, I don't want to say it's out of nowhere, but this wasn't something 6 months ago. I didn't think that people were necessarily going to be saying that Anthony Smith was going to be fighting Jon Jones for the title in March.
No, man, there's no pressure for me at all. I mean, no one expects me to win. I would confidently say there's a handful of people that truly believe no matter what, I'm leaving there with my hand raised. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm up against, arguably the greatest fighter to ever do it. What do I expect? You know what I mean? I don't expect people to jump behind me and push me through to the finish line. There's really no pressure at all. Like nothing at all is expected of me. And I just deal with these kind of situations pretty well, and I expected to be here. This isn't like John's kind of making it seem like he gifted me an opportunity, and that's not it at all. I put myself here on purpose. I was talking about Jon Jones before I fought Shogun in July. I very carefully put myself in a position to get to where I'm at right now, and so I'm not really surprised. Like I expected to be here, and I waited for him to fight to start, putting myself in a better position as far as my management goes and all that stuff. So, I think I did what I had to do, and I knew what it was going to take to get a title shot, and I did it. And as far as the pressure goes, I mean, can you really think of a better position to be in, though? I think it's similar to Michael's. You go in, no one expects you to win. The cards are stacked against you. No one, collectively, no one believes that you're going to do it. So you just walk out there and you go out there and you have fun. And when you fight without fear, you're not tight and you're not overthinking it. And you just go out there and you're loose and you just do what feels right. And it's, 9 times out of 10, that's when it really works out for you.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, I was going to say that when you go in there and there's no pressure and you're just fighting, I mean, you go out there, fight your own fight, believe in yourself, and then the best things happen. When you have all this pressure and you're the champion and the whole world expects you to win, that does affect your performances. So you're absolutely right, Anthony. I totally agree with you. And it doesn't matter if the world or the bookies have you as the underdog. If you believe in yourself, which is the most powerful tool, if you believe in yourself and the coaches believe in you and your team around you do, then you can achieve anything. At the end of the day, he's only a human being, just like we all are. Only takes one shot. To quote a famous line, if you conceive and you believe, then you can achieve, my friend. But
speaking of our good buddy, did you see him today? He is. I think he might dislike me more than he dislikes you.
Oh, what happened?
Who Rockhold? Why? What's going on?
Oh man, this is twice now. So the first time he went on some show talking about how trash the division is because Anthony Smith was ranked in the top 5, and I didn't say anything because honestly I didn't want to talk my way out of a fight with Luke out of a title shot and into a fight with Luke Rockhold.
That's funny.
So I just left it. Well, then today he goes on Luke Thomas's show talking about how dog shit I am and I couldn't even crack the top 10 at middleweight. And he just kept saying, Anthony Smith is getting a title shot. Like, what a arrogant fucking prick. I've never said 2 words to that dude my whole life.
Really?
Well, that's what he is.
Never.
He is an arrogant prick, an absolute arrogant prick, and hopefully you get a chance to shut him up in person. But you did the right thing. You don't want to talk yourself out of a title shot and into a fight with Luke Rockhold, who, to be fair, is a tough fight as well. But on the post-fight show, can we just talk about when Jones started being an aggressive dick with you, and you handled it perfectly, Anthony. You did. You went, listen, I feel like I've been pretty respectful here. I'm just here doing my job. But secretly in your mind, what did you really want to say?
Oh man, I wanted to wig out. I really wanted to just let him have it, and just be like listen, like I hate people that have that attitude, like that I'm better than you because here's what I've done. I'm a small town Nebraska kid. Like I don't ever think I'm better than anybody. It doesn't matter whether I'm fighting for a title in the UFC or I'm back working my construction job. I treat people the same way, and I just can't stand people that don't. And I get that vibe from Jon a little bit. I get that vibe and you definitely get that from Luke Rockhold. Like just like it makes me think, like, who the fuck are you to talk to people like that? Like, I've never done anything to you. I've never had a problem with you. I've never said anything that isn't true about you. Like, I don't know you. So like, it's just the total arrogance of just thinking you're better than people. It just drives me crazy.
It's like an actual like generic classic bully mentality of let me put you down in order to make myself feel better. That sucks. And that sucks you to go through. But I'll tell you right now, as a fan, because that's what I am. I'm just a fan of this sport. You are doing yourself, a ton of favors, even just talking about it right now, the way you're talking about it in a very honest way, because people connect with somebody like you much more so than a guy who's fucking modeling Gucci underwear or a guy who is gifted all of the tools to go become a world champion like Jon Jones. Those guys have it easy.
Hold on, Gucci do underwear?
I'm saying,
Gucci do underwear? Fuck, man, I gotta get some.
Isn't that Rockhold a Gucci? Isn't he a Gucci model? Isn't that what it is? No, what is it?
I don't know what I just know that he's just this California kid that just feels like he's better than everyone. He's good looking, and he's probably the guy that got all the girls and was the cool guy in school, and he just like he takes every opportunity to put me down. Like, I don't understand. Like, the people that aren't putting me down for the most part are my peers. He's the only one, because people understand what it takes to get to a title shot, how long of a road I've had if you actually look at it. And how much work and dedication and sacrifice I've put into getting here. So even if you don't agree that I should get it, or you think that Jon Jones is going to kick my ass, as my peer, you know what goes into that, and you should be the last person to say anything about it. And if your name is Luke Rockhold and you've been knocked out 2 out of your last 3 fights, and Yoel Romero almost decapitated him, like what do you do? What are you talking about? Anyone else? Like, you can't even make it to your next fight. I don't understand. Like,
well, for sure.
It doesn't make any sense.
There's
like,
one word
I fought 4 times.
to describe that.
I fought 4 times in 9 months.
Well, absolutely. And the one word to describe that is jealousy. That's all it is, Anthony. As you just said, you've put it all together. You've just beat 3 legends back to back. All right, Uzdemir is not a legend, but he's certainly top of the food chain. And then Shogun and Rashad. Him on the other side, as you said, knocking people out. And now he's trying to talk shit. He's just jealous. He's just jealous. I mean, you've got a massive title fight on your hands. It's going to be the biggest payday of your career. And honestly, after spending some time with you, Anthony, I couldn't be happier for you. You're a good man, a good family man, and I'm really, really happy for you, man. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thanks a lot, man. I really enjoyed being on the desk. I enjoyed having a couple drinks with you, man. It was a chance meeting that I think really worked out in the time of my life, like in this time in my life, like just your story and your journey and you telling the story, just listening to it coming from you, it was really goddamn cool to listen to. And in parts of that, I feel like I can relate to a little bit. So I hope that I can do the same thing you did and just go shock the world.
Absolutely. Well, you said it perfectly yourself there, but so we'll let you go. Speak to us again sometime, please, because this was awesome. Fantastic interview. We have a thing called the circle of trust here. What goes on at a bar after 10 shots of tequila does not go mentioned on podcasts. So I can't remember what I said. Pretty sure it was good shit, but I don't remember any of it.
It was all good, Anthony, and it'll stay in the circle of trust.
I know. I'm kidding. Listen, buddy, thanks for taking the time out your day to join us. Wish you the best in training camp and go out there, shock the world, my friend.
Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Hell yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, great, man. He's such a very well-spoken, mild-mannered, unemotional individual. That was a really good way to sort of describe what was going on. That was a great question on your end, by the way, to ask him what he wanted to say to Jon Jones in that moment.
Yeah, well, John, I mean, Jesus Christ, it seems like I'm going on a tirade of abuse of Jon Jones lately. I'm not, but whatever. He doesn't like me. It's okay. I'm a fan of the guy. Well, I'm not a fan of some of the things lately, but, I enjoy seeing him fight. But he did kind of just start talking shit to Anthony for a minute. And Anthony was like, hold on. He was very, very level-headed, which really impressed me because as we've seen with Colby Covington and things like that, sometimes I'm a little quick to talk a bit of shit. But also at the same time, that makes for good TV, which is what I'm trying to be a part of as well. But Anthony was so level-headed. He was like, hold on a minute. I feel like I've been super respectful to you. I don't understand where this hostility is coming from. But massive opportunity for Anthony Smith.
Huge.
Very happy for him.
Huge. And Luke Rockhold does himself no favors. Like, what a weirdo. Why? Like, what's the point? Just to literally just to trash a guy that is in a better position than you. Wouldn't you have the self-awareness just to go like, okay, I don't want to be perceived as a jealous cunt. So I'm not even gonna just take those shots. Like, even if you felt that way, even if you're like, this guy really, he got the fucking shot publicly.
So here's the thing. Yeah, no, sorry. So here's the thing. So he's on Luke Thomas, which, is a subpar show, I've got to say. No offense, Luke. We need 3 of those back-to-back for that comment. It's a subpar show, but Luke Rockhold's on there. Here's the facts. You did just get fucking knocked out of Yoel Romero. You've never fought at light heavyweight in the UFC, but yet you think you're going to walk right into a title shot. Of course, I understand from his own side of things, he wants what Smith has got right now, but you got to earn that. You got to establish yourself at light heavyweight, get at least a couple of big wins, and then maybe you can talk about that. But just going on there and just saying, oh my God, Anthony Smith is getting a title shot. It's crazy. It's jealous. It doesn't put himself forward in the best light. And of course, true to every episode of Believe You Me, we never miss an opportunity to talk shit. And I apologize for that because it was like all Anthony Smith is doing, not mine.
Yeah, you didn't even want to say anything, to be honest. He brought him up.
I was doing this.
I know.
No, let's have 1 week without talking shit about him.
Yeah. Well, you saw the quote that he said to TMZ.
Go on.
Spoke with TMZ Sports. It's a quote from Luke Rockhold. It's so strange. Like, what a weird, bizarre quote. He goes to Jon Jones, hold tight. I'm coming, princess.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did.
I mean, you think Jon Jones I'm not even being an asshole here. I think Jon Jones is a cheat. I don't like Jon Jones, but at what point are you moving up to 205?
That's almost like a carbon copy of what Jones said to DC. Hey, daddy's home, DC. And now he's just switching. What did he say?
Hold tight.
What did he say?
I'm coming, princess.
I'm coming, princess. Yeah, he just copied Jon Jones's thing there exactly, almost.
Keep the bed warm,
and I'm sure
big boy.
Jon Jones is sitting there shitting his pants, I'm sure. Oh my God, Luke Rockhold's moving up from light heavyweight after getting knocked out cold and coming to fight me. Ooh, very, very scared. All right, let's take a quick moment to hear from one of our new sponsors of the show, Fulton and Rourke. What is Fulton and Rourke, I hear you asking? Well, Fulton and Rourke is a men's grooming and fragrance company that creates products that are not only of the highest quality, but also make getting ready more enjoyable. They're best known for their solid wax-based colognes. They're designed to perform just as well as traditional sprays, but they come in a shatterproof metal case that you can throw in your gym bag, your carry-on bag, even fit in the pocket of your jeans. Now, what am I talking about here, you say? Well, fortunately, they sent me some samples, and I've got to say, it is pretty cool. They have these very, very small, trendy, well-crafted little metal cases.
It looks like an Altoids container
the lid
almost.
Off. Yeah, or like a Zippo lighter or something.
Yeah.
And then you just rub it on you. And I've got to be honest, the smell is fantastic. It's not overpowering. It's nice and subtle, but it's very, very good. As I say, throw it in your gym bag, put it in your pocket. And they also do a massive variety of products as well. They do all the usual stuff. They do, facial creams if you want to stay moisturized. Sunscreen is in, all that stuff as well. But they also have a whole line of awesome grooming products. GQ named their shave cream the best on the market. High praise indeed. And their aftershave cloths just won a Men's Health Grooming Award as well. So, looking to up your shower routine? Well, their caffeinated shampoo and body wash has a great fragrance that will wake you up and get you ready for the day. So, I'm telling you,
what I love, Mike? I apologize to cut you off, but I'm not a cologne guy at all. Like, I don't wear colognes. I feel like they're a little bit overpowering, a little overbearing.
I've noticed, Lewis. I've noticed.
You've mentioned it before. You're like, what is that smell coming out of my guest room? If you're looking for something, I'm going to recommend the Sterling. That's what they sent me. It's basically, it has warm notes of tobacco, leather, and vanilla. It's very masculine and very sophisticated. Perfect for this time of year. I put it on the other day. My girlfriend was like, what the fuck are you wearing? She couldn't keep her hands off me. And it didn't feel like I was wearing cologne. It didn't feel like I was wearing perfume. That's the problem with cologne. You spray it on, you can taste it, you can smell it. This was almost like, there's just something about it. It didn't have that weird, invasive, overbearing fragrance to it. So I really, really loved it. I think you guys should go check it out. So here's the deal. If you go to Fulton and Roark, that is ROARK.com, FULTON, and ROARK.com. Use the promo code BYM at checkout. You're going to receive 15% off your entire purchase. That's a huge savings, 15%. Buy yourself some amazing products. I'm telling you right now, this is the perfect product for you if you're a dude, but you're not one of these guys who are just trying to spend your entire lives getting all bougie and crazy. These are some amazing products that make you feel like a dude while you're using them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, in this modern day and age, you know, there seems to be some kind of, you know, I think we're past the age of men not wanting to look after themselves and look good. Certainly, you know, that's the way it should be. Everyone tries. You want to look good when you go out. And this is a fantastic range of products. It really is. I'm proud that they're a sponsor of the show. They sent me out a ton of products and I was blown away by the quality. And you will be too. So please check it out. As Lewis said, it's Fulton and Roark, ROARK.com. Use the promo code BYM at checkout. 15% off. All right, let's get back into it, buddy. Yeah. Talking of people getting knocked out cold, or I don't know if you got knocked out cold, but let's take a moment to discuss a lady. I can't really pronounce her name. She was a female fighter. What was her name, Harrington? She was down in Brazil. Is she Brazilian? I saw the news, and my apologies. I wasn't aware that she was part of the UFC roster. But the lady in question, for the listener, was down. Hold on, who are we talking about, Harrington?
Polyana Viana. I believe Viana might be the right pronunciation.
Polyana Viana.
She's a UFC strawweight.
Is she Brazilian?
Yes, sir.
Polyana Viana. Shit, of course.
Obviously.
Oh, I know. God, I'm such an idiot sometimes. How did I forget? It's Viana, Vienna, that whole thing. Yeah. It's the Pamna. I think I can help a little bit with the whole Pam issue.
So
anyway,
she's in Brazil, and a gentleman approaches her, and this is a quote. This is I guess she was talking to MMA Junkie. She said, "When he saw me, I saw him. He sat next to me. He asked if I had the time. I said it, and I saw he wasn't going to leave, so I had already moved to put my cell phone in my waist. And then he said, 'Give me the phone. Don't try to react because I'm armed.' Then he put his hand over a gun, but I realized it was too soft." It was his dick. "He was really close to me, so I thought if it's a gun, he won't have time to draw it. So I stood up. I threw 2 punches and a kick. He fell. Then I caught him in a rear naked choke. Then I sat him down in the place where we were before, and I said, 'Now we'll wait for the police.'" Jesus.
Now we'll wait for the police. What do you mean, Jesus? I mean, that was awesome.
I know.
First
it is.
of all, shame on that guy. What a loser. Can't even rob a girl. can't even rob a girl. I mean,
shame on
look
him
at that
for
guy.
not even being able to do it.
You know, and shame on him. Leave that picture up because we'll get to this in a minute. Yeah, I think he had like a cardboard cutout of a gun in his waist, and that's what he was using to threaten.
Oh, really?
Polyana Viana, whatever her name is, not a bad-looking girl there.
Yeah,
and this guy, this waste of space. You know, she looks like your girlfriend, Lewis.
A little bit like Kim Congdon.
A little bit like Kim Congdon. This guy on the right, what a sorry-faced piece of shit this guy is. He looks like a scumbag. I'm sorry. If he came and sat next to me and asked me the time, I think I'd just elbow him right then and there. Yeah. She looks like she went to town on him, which is awesome. Good for her. Shame on that guy. Just an absolute piece of shit. Gives Brazil a bad name. You know, this is the type of stuff you hear about. But and then I think she held him in a Kimura or a rear naked choke until the police showed up. So,
yeah. Oh, she's hot.
That's just awesome.
Whoa, I'm on her IG right now. Doggy, she is a smoke show.
Lewis, have a bit more respect. Otherwise, you
that
might
is
find
fucking being
yourself-
respectful. What do you want me to say? She's hot. She's a physically attractive woman. She knows it. She's got an Instagram. She looks great on it. She wants to be complimented.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. How do you
pull it
no,
up
no,
on the
sh-
screen?
Purely for research purposes. How
She
do you
is
spell her name?
sexy as fuck.
I think they say AF these days. And, you know, it's not really my type, but she's not a bad-looking girl.
Pull up, go down. I mean, what? There's one of her just like leaning up against a fence. If you go down, no, not even that one, but yeah, she's hot as hell. And the fact that she beat the shit out of that guy is even hotter. There's something really sexy about that. She's not too muscular. She's still soft. What? Are you kidding me? She's perfect. Yeah. I'd leave my family for her tomorrow. I move to Brazil. Have her protect me. Look at that.
Hold on. I've trained with you, Lewis.
Yeah.
Do you think you could take Polyama in a fight?
Strawweight? How much do you weigh? 115?
Yeah, 115 on fight day. So 130.
How many
walk around.
fights has she had in the UFC? What is her record?
Can I see some highlights? Pull up some highlights. Maybe I'll be able to give you some.
Because I did say once on the radio show that a man your size who is
should be able. Yeah.
I want to say 210, 215. Probably talking what 235, 240 these days, Lewis.
245, 202.5 in the fight this past summer. 4 months later, 245 pounds.
Shame on you. Yeah.
Wow.
She's good.
She's great, dude.
What's her record?
Harrington, you know her record? Yeah. No, I don't think
I mean, it was awesome. Everybody was sharing that picture. Dana White shared it as well. I mean, it's just great. It goes to show that mixed martial arts is fantastic for self-defense. I mean, I did see someone post something about, do you think that would have happened if you did a women's self-defense class? And the answer is no. Unfortunately, the reality is a lot of these self-defense methods just don't work unless you're getting attacked by some subspecies like that guy was. Yeah. I reckon. I think Harrington could have beat that guy.
Knowing something is better than nothing, right? So I think that if a woman, I don't think. I think
no. In some circumstances, knowing something will get you fucking killed because you try this stupid shit that isn't going to work, and then it antagonizes the aggressor.
You kick me in my balls. Like, you kick me in my balls. You better fucking kill me because that's just going to turn me into a wild bull. It's not like you go down with a ball shot. You get kicked in the balls, you fucking start swinging wildly. I've been hit in the balls before. It just fucking sucks. You don't think about anything else except, fuck, I want to punch whatever hit me in the balls.
You hear these women going, oh, just need them in the balls. We're just going to fall on the floor and roll around going, No, anybody purposely needs me in the fucking balls. I remember once I was training with this fucking guy, this Russian... No, sorry, this wrestler. What was his name? Whatever. He used to train with us in England. This wrestler, bit of a weirdo, smelly. He was a very, 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 very good wrestler, though. When he came to the gym, he came in and we sparred. And he didn't know anybody. He just walked in and wanted to join in. I'm like, yeah, sure, fair enough. And he was a good wrestler. And I was having a tough time, like, you know, stopping the takedowns and whatnot. But on the feet, he was terrible. So I was lighting him up like a Christmas tree. And we squared up. Sorry, you know, we clinched, I mean, and then he just went boom and kneed me square in the fucking balls. And he was like, oh, okay, we'll stop. I'm like, no. Do not think you are kneeing me in the fucking balls and getting out of this octagon and calling it a day. So, yeah, I made him eat his words there. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember being a kid.
Welcome to that girl.
Yeah, well, no, good for her. And to be honest with you, I think that, get into some jiu-jitsu. My son right now, he's 6 and he's about to start doing jiu-jitsu now. I just got back into the gym this past Saturday. I put on so much fucking weight since the fight. I've been a lazy asshole, but I'm very motivated to get back in now. I'm really excited to get back in shape now, which is, you know, whatever. I go through this every single winter. I put on 30, 40 pounds.
Next week, when I'm in town, let's work out, buddy.
Let's train, baby.
All day.
I'll get you guest passes the whole fucking week. And on top of it, when we trained together, I was so beaten up from my training that you didn't get to see exactly what a badass I was. Ooh. So now, now you'll see what the fuck's going on.
Harrington, come along. We will shoot some bonus footage for Believe You Me. Okay,
I'm fucking
set
down.
up somewhere with Diego where we can have a little roll. I haven't done jiu-jitsu since A long time. I haven't done any jiu-jitsu throughout 2018, and we're now in 19. Let's just put it like that. But we'll do a little bit, and we'll get Harrington to film some bonus footage, and we'll have a little play.
What days are you coming in again? What are the dates?
I come in Thursday afternoon. I land.
And you're there Saturday morning, and are you because I do training with Diego on Saturday mornings anyway. So let's just go out. It's Williamsburg MMA, which is a great gym in Williamsburg, New York. And what was that?
Where's Williamsburg? No, because you were gonna say Saturday morning when I'm like, oh, morning.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen Friday night?
Nothing's gonna happen Friday night because I don't drink, motherfucker.
Of course, so it shouldn't be an issue. You'll be up at 6.
And I'm there to do a job, Lewis. When I'm on the road and I'm traveling for UFC purposes, I am not burning the candle at both ends. I am not lubricating myself in the evenings. No,
Whoa.
I am taking it easy.
What are you doing in the evenings?
Wetting my whistle.
I don't even fucking know who you are anymore. All I heard is you and Anthony Smith sucking each other's dicks for 10 minutes at the end of that phone call. I wanted to leave. I got uncomfortable. I really want to go to the bathroom during that.
That's the funniest thing you've ever said on this podcast, Lewis. Oh my God.
Let's do it. We'll go to Williamsburg MMA with Diego Lopez, who's our very good friend, and we'll film some extra stuff. And I'm heavier now too. I was so light back then. Now I feel like I could fucking handle you a little bit, hold my own.
The challenge is on. The challenge is on, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So the cowbell of honor for Polyana Viana, whatever her name is. Well done to her, and shame on that guy. What else we got going? Oh, Tyron Woodley versus Kamaru Usman. That's been made official, I believe.
Yeah, I love all this.
That is going to be
UFC.
That is going to be on the Jon Jones versus Anthony Smith. Kamaru Usman taking on Tyron Woodley, and then the rest of the card is stacked as well. Lewis, you were just about to say something.
They should call it UFC 240, one-sided.
Why 240?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the number, but it was one-sided was the joke, not 240.
What?
Because
why one-sided?
And Woodley and Smith and Jones, they're very, big underdogs. You know what? I just said the best joke I've ever said on the show, and then the worst. It doesn't matter, Michael. Let's just move on. Can we just move on?
240. Here's how smart I am. I'm thinking about 240. Is there some mathematical reason why that would make it one-sided? I'm looking at the angles. I'm thinking, is that an obtuse angle? Is there a reason why 240 will be considered one-sided? Or perhaps if the way a mirror was at 240 degrees and the sunlight hit it at 6 p.m., you would get your own reflection back or something. I don't know. But I'm like, what are you talking about? Explain that. But poor old Colby Covington, eh?
Ooh.
Poor Colby.
He's not happy.
It's a shame for Colby. Do we have a statement? Do we have a tweet? Do we have anything?
I know he's talking about it. Oh, and Harrington did correct me. Usman's not that big of an underdog. He's only a plus 130 underdog. That's interesting. I thought Woodley was going to be pretty heavily favored in that fight. No? Okay. I guess not.
No, I text Woodley. I'm trying to get him on the show. You've got to favor Tyron Woodley in that fight, but Usman does present some challenges for Woodley. I was going to say predominantly in the wrestling department, but if I'm honest, you don't really see Tyron depend on his wrestling these days. I mean, of course, against Darren Till, it was one big right hand that set up the beginning of the end. And that's generally what he's looking for. Even against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, it was the hands that got it done. As Tyron Woodley says, you don't want these hands. He's fought better competition than Usman. I don't know about his wrestling credentials. I don't know if he's a better wrestler, but he's certainly got more experience in high-profile fights. These type of things always matter. So you got to lean towards Tyron Woodley for sure. He's proven to be a fantastic champion, but Usman is no pushover for anybody.
Yeah, I think Tyron Woodley is a really special athlete, and I think it's he's I think Woodley can beat probably anybody at 170 and could even probably beat most guys at 185. He's a fucking monster. And I think the wrestling just sort of cancels each other out. So then it becomes who's the guy who's going to knock the other one out. And I think Woodley has more of an opportunity to knock out Usman. I'm excited about all of those fights. I'm excited about Usman versus Woodley because, they're both great. But you want to see Colby Covington get his fucking comeuppance. He had the interim title. If we're going to do interim titles, then do them for a reason. That's supposed to guarantee you the title shot. It used to be what you used to say. It's like, well, why go after the interim title? Well, at the very least, it guarantees you that title shot. I think fair is fair. And not only that, from a fan's perspective, I'd just love to see Colby Covington get his fucking ass kicked.
Well, thank you very much for saying that, because so would I. I would love to see nothing more than Tyron Woodley decapitate him. And I was with Woodley, when was it? I don't know. Oh, a few weeks ago in Milwaukee. And he wanted the Covington fight. He did, because, you know, there's the storyline, there's the whole beef, and it becomes kind of a political race thing as well, because Covington is, you know, he's a big Trump supporter. Tyron Woodley, you know, he's a black fighter, and he was talking about, you know, how it could become a huge symbolic thing, and it could help sell a lot of pay-per-views. I don't really think that matters now, because he's on Jon Jones and Anthony Smith, and I think with Smith and Tyron Woodley on the same card, you're going to pretty much guarantee a decent pay-per-view number. Yeah. I think I read recently that Jones versus Gustafson did 900,000 pay-per-view.
Really?
Guys, that's what it's what I saw online. I don't know if that's gospel, but one place did report that. So that's massive. No wonder the UFC won him back in there so quickly. But Dana White, after Usman beat Rafael dos Anjos, Dana White said on the post-fight show straight away, he said, I want to make Usman for the belt against Woodley. That leads me to believe, and this is no circle of trust, this is no inside information, this is just me thinking, Covington has done something to piss Dana off. He must have done. I mean, first of all, he turned down the fight against Woodley, which as an interim title holder kind of is your obligation. Okay, he said he was injured. Take that on face value, accept that. Okay, fair enough. There's got to be something else going on behind the scenes, I would assume.
Right. Well, I guess he told Ariel Helwani that he was offered a fight with Nick Diaz this past November and was willing to accept it, even though it didn't make sense because it would help the UFC. And this is a quote from Covington. Yeah, Harrington?
Yeah, he said, they made promises that I was going to fight Woodley in November at Madison Square Garden. He also said they made promises I was going to fight him in January in California. Now, all of a sudden, I'm getting passed up for a guy that's behind me in the rankings that's beaten my sloppy seconds. It makes no sense to me. They're shitting on me, they're shitting on the fans, and they're dulling their product.
I got one thing to say to that. Who gives a fuck, right? This is the universe paying you back for being an absolute dickhead, an absolute fucking wanker, okay? That's what you are, you know, and if I was to commentate one of your fights, I'd keep it professional, you know, but on a personal level, one cannot deny that you are a cock of the highest magnitude.
Yeah. Still doesn't matter. Still want to say it. Still want to see a bad guy. Still want to see a guy get his ass kicked, you know. You know, is there anyone in the world who wants to see Usman versus Woodley more than Covington versus Woodley? Usman.
I want to see
Usman and a couple people in his family. That's it.
I agree. Even Woodley said that, you know, but that was a few weeks ago. It is what it is. Listen, if Woodley beats Usman, which he should, you know, but you can never take these things for granted. Usman's a tough guy. If he beats him, then it should be Covington next, unless Covington fights in the interim and loses. You know, if that happens, then I don't think Covington's ever going to sniff a title shot again. But he's only got himself to blame. He runs around criticizing everybody, talking shit, suing Fabrizio Verdun, pressing charges, calling the police. I mean, these things don't endear you to the public.
Yeah.
You talk shit about Fabrizio Verdun. You're both fighters. Verdun fucking loses his shit and throws a boomerang at you, which is hilarious, and then you call the cops. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Come on.
Bitch shit.
You talk about being such a badass, and then you call the cops when somebody is a former heavyweight champion of the world. Listen, he goes around calling everybody a snowflake, right? Calls everybody a snowflake and this and that. You're a fighter. You're talking shit to another fighter, okay? What do you think the consequences could perhaps be?
As a dude, fan of another fighter, most men, the reason men act the way we act is because we've all gotten our asses kicked. Even if it was in the 5th grade, most dudes have gotten punched in the face for saying something stupid to a person they shouldn't have said something stupid to. And you tell the difference of the type of people who have never gotten their ass kicked and the people who have. And it's funny because Covington's a fighter, but he acts like a person who's never just had his ass handed to him before.
Absolutely, you know, and listen, of course, this is the year 2019 and we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. We've got to act a certain way. But, you know, the law of the jungle, right? If you're a man and you're talking shit, you know, then you know, live by the sword, die by the sword. And what does he do? He runs off to the cops on the first occasion and tries to sue him. You know, that's a bitch move all day. You know, you talk shit, chat shit, get banged, Lewis.
Yeah,
chat shit, get banged.
Don't I know it? Live,
you know, so
live by the sword, die by the sword. Michael Bisping, I want to say real quick, we got to go to the Alexander Volkanovski interview, which we taped a little bit earlier over in Studio B, which great interview with him. I got to also say, have you tried the Caveman Coffee Nitro Cold Brew? I
have not. No,
They sent us a bunch here at the studio.
Are they paying us?
No, but I'm going to send you a bunch because it's fucking incredible, and they should. We should be drinking. They should be a sponsor on the show because it's maybe the best cold brew I've ever had. I'm going to send you a case. I just want to say, and let's go to the Alexander Volkanovski interview. By the way, Alexander Volkanovski, great guy, awesome dude, fantastic headphones. You will see that in a moment. But shame on all the production problems. But guys, over to you, Harrington. Seamlessly, flawlessly segue to Volkanovski. All right, guys, joining us now. I think this is our first ever video calling, but we have the great Alexander the Great Volkanovski here with us, kind of, with pink headphones on, Alex. Before we get into anything else, what the fuck are those?
Oh, mate, well, I don't have any other earphones. I was like looking around. All I got is my iPhone ones, but they don't plug into the computer. So mate, this is like, you've got Ariana's ones, and I'm like, oh, shit.
You just got a 50,000 fight of the night bonus for beating Chad Mendes. Next thing you buy yourself a pair of headphones, buddy, because, hold on, there's a thing we have on the show, it's called the shame bell. I'm shaming you for those headphones.
All good, all good. I'm a family man. I pride myself on being a family man.
Yeah, there you
my
go.
daughter's room laying on a pink sheets. Pink headphones.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Listen, just busting your balls, mate. Listen, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate you taking the time to join us. First of all, congratulations on that crazy fight against Chad Mendes. He's been around forever. Beautiful fight. How did you feel? Oh, and by the way, Lewis is on the phone as well. Sorry, in studio. So, Lewis, feel free, buddy.
Not a problem. Alex, very nice to meet you via technology or whatever it is. But yeah, great job on the Chad Mendes fight. Yeah. How you feeling after that big high-profile win?
Oh, it's unreal. You know, it's exactly what I planned for, you know what I mean? So I knew it was a huge fight on a huge card, and, you know, it's Chad Mendes. So, you know, I was wrapped with how things went down, you know. Yeah. I feel, you know, obviously it was a tough fight, but at the same time, you know, got to spike the fight of the night, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful. It really was. Of course, Chad Mendes has been around forever, one of the top guys in the division. Now you've beaten him, and you're on a 6-fight win streak, which is, you know, it's pretty spectacular. You've got to be thinking title shot sometime soon. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, after my fight, I called out Max Holloway. You know, just purely because, you know, a lot of the other guys in front of me, you know, they've got fights booked, they're coming off losses or injured and things like that. So, you know, if Max wants to fight anytime soon, you know, I mean, I've got to be one of the only guys that's sort of there. But at the same time, I'm happy to fight whoever's in front of me. Whatever moves me forward, let's do it. I'm keen. You know, I believe I can beat anyone in the division. So, you know, I'm keen to just get in there and move forward.
Was that a decision you made in the moment to call out Max, or was it sort of like, all right, if I beat Chad in a, you know, an impressive way, this is sort of the next move?
I sort of, yeah, obviously I was thinking about it, a bit of a strategy there. But at the same time, you know, like, you know, I just, you know, as long as, you know, beating someone like Chad Mendes, I knew they'll put me right up there. That'll get people talking. So I may as well throw my name in the title to get around. A lot of people talking about that. And, you know, I think in 2019, I'll be fighting for the title for sure.
When I first heard your name, Volkanovski, I thought you would talk like this. I thought we had another Russian wrestler on our hands. But then you're fucking Australian, half Greek, and what is your background?
Yeah, there we go. You cut out for a second there. He was Mike. You want to ask a question again?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just saying the first time I heard your name, I thought, wow, okay, we got another hardcore Russian wrestler on our hands. And then you spoke, and I was like, oh, shit, he's Australian. So you're half Greek, and what's the other half? If I know it's maybe not half, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, half Greek, half Macedonian, but I'm as Aussie as they come. How you going, mate?
Hey, listen, not many Aussies. All right, maybe Robert Whittaker's pretty good as well, but not many Aussies, just like the English. This isn't an insult to the Aussies, but we don't wrestle too well, and generally Aussies don't wrestle as well as you either.
Yeah, I mean, I wrestled actually when I was younger, only for literally maybe 1 or 2 years. And then I played rugby league, as you probably would have seen the photos getting around when I was 214 pounds. But you know, it's I don't know. I'm just when it comes to straight when MMA wrestling, I think it's totally different. I just think I put it together very well. That's why I get takedowns. I read the game pretty well, and I just think that's what really works for me. Rather than straight wrestling, I think it's just knowing the game, and then MMA wrestling is totally different. I think I'm one of the best in our division.
Well, you mentioned, wrestling when you were younger. I just read that you started training MMA only 8 years ago when you were 22 years old.
Yes.
What inspires you to start doing something like that?
I only started probably 7. 8. Oh, sorry, it was cutting out there. 7 or 8 years ago, and that was the first time I ever started like MMA. Like I said, I wrestled I think 1 or 2 years when I was younger. Then I played rugby league most of my life. Decided to give MMA a crack. And in my last year of football, I won the grand final. Got man of the match, scored a try. And just it was a good year to end it on. I had a couple of fights that year, and I thought, you know what? Let's take this MMA thing seriously. So a lot of people thought I was mad because I used to do all right in rugby league, but now once I dropped that weight off, things started looking real good.
What position did you play? Because you're 220. I'm not sure how tall you are. What are you, like 5'8", 5'9", something like that?
5'6", if I'm lucky. 5'6", on a good day when I've been.
I'll be honest, I was trying to.
My head just 5'6".
Yeah. I was trying to be polite because I remember just as I said that, I thought, well, him and Chad were pretty evenly matched, but I didn't want to be insulting. So what position did you play at rugby? I used to be a flanker back in the day.
I was a front rower. So rugby league I played, not rugby union, but I was the front rower. So the guys at the front of the scrum, passing the ball, run at the brick wall, them types of guys. So that's what I've done. I've done it pretty good, but do MMA maybe a little bit better.
Well, you know what? It's actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lewis.
No, Mike. You're gonna ask a better question.
No. I was gonna say there's a lot of similarities between rugby and mixed martial arts in terms of the training and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. But when you look at Max Holloway, of course, he looks sensational against Ortega. If you don't get the next fight, if he goes up to 155. Who do you think he's going to fight next? What do you think his next move is going to be?
I reckon Conor and McGregor might be something that might be there. I really do. That rematch is there, and it makes sense even for Conor. Because Conor just coming off a loss, he can't get another title shot. So what's the next biggest? Max Holloway, I think that'd be pretty clever. He wins that. Does he get another rematch at the title? You know what I mean? So. They want as many big fights as they can, and I think against Max Holloway, a rematch, it's Max Holloway's last loss. It makes a lot of sense. But if he moves up, that interim title's there for grabs. Let's do it.
Is that something that's really important? I mean, you've been training MMA for 7 years. You've gotten to the pinnacle, the highest level of success in terms of where you're fighting. You're a UFC fighter. It's pretty unheard of. Very small percentage of people in the world get to do that. Is the title, how important is the title to you, or how is it more important to have just a piece of gold around your waist with like an interim title, or is it more important to beat the absolute best in your division, Max Holloway?
Yeah, I definitely want to fight Max Holloway, but what's the future for him? I don't know. But at the same time, I'm a family man. I decided before I had my kids, I started MMA, but because I love the sport. But I have, and this is my career, and I need to be successful to look after them, and I want to look after them for the rest of my life. So I need to make as much money as I can, and shooting through these ranks, getting the title is the best way. I need to be right up there. I need money. So again, I'm a family man. I'm a proud daddy, as you can see, wearing the big headphones. That's what I do. This is do it.
Yeah, me and you both, Alex. I mean, that's why I got into this. I haven't been down to Australia for a couple of years now, but how's the scene down there? I know there's a big card coming up. Obviously, Whittaker is a champion now. Is it still growing a lot?
Oh, it's growing massively. Honestly, it's even the amateurs now, like I've some local fights sometimes, and the level's right up there now. Now you're getting, Aussies get a lot of good athletes, and now a lot of them are starting to do MMA. They started early as well, so you're going to be seeing some real good things coming through. To the end of the days of UFC, because it's definitely going really strong. Thanks to guys like Rob Whittaker and Hope and a few of us boys that are doing really well. We're doing real well this side of the world now, and everyone's starting to take notice.
Was it something that you noticed when Rob Whittaker won the title? Was there sort of a spike? Because I feel like it might have been a different time with Mike, but Mike, when you won the Ultimate Fighter, it's more like it's almost a title in itself. I feel like that's what put British MMA on the map, and then people started really talking about all these fighters coming out of Britain. All of a sudden, I'm starting to see more Australian fighters. Was there any sort of buzz, or did you see any sort of direct ripple effect of Whittaker winning the title?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Rising a little bit before that, you can see it rising, but after Robert Whittaker, it started really hitting the bigger media outlets here in Australia, and you're seeing it everywhere now. So every time there's a big card, it's all over Australia. So that never used to happen, and I reckon we could thank Robert Whittaker for that. But again, I think we're going to run with it. Again, we've got a lot of talent this side of the world, and let them all watch.
Well, you can also thank Michael Bisping, because I fought down there 3 times. Now, my wife's Australian, and the first time I fought down there, I fought, who was it? Jorge Rivera. Was it Jorge? No, Vanderlei Silva. And I thought, well, he's Brazilian, okay, and I'm English, and, even though you hate to admit it, you guys are very similar to the English. I know there's the love and hate between the English and the Poms, but I came down there. I thought I might get a cheer. Jesus Christ, the abuse that I got from the Australian fans was fucking out of control. It was crazy.
I know you never know with the Aussies, mate. I was rooting for you. Don't worry about that. Don't worry, all right?
Oh, God. What do you think happens with Whittaker and Gastelum? I mean, of course, you're going to say Whittaker, I'm sure, but how do you see that fight going?
I think that's a tricky fight. Like, I still see Rob Whittaker winning. Sorry, it's sort of delayed in my ears. That's why I'm sort of playing with this thing.
Oh, good, buddy.
But, Rob Whittaker, I think Gastelum, does have some challenges there because he's got such crisp, hands and things like that. But Robert Whittaker, I just think he's on another level when it comes to all the different looks he has. Even the defense, his exits, it's always different. He's always really, really mixing it up. It's very hard to read, and I find guys like that are very hard to fight. And I think that'd be real tricky. I think he might just be Gastelum.
Lewis?
No, very cool. I agree wholeheartedly.
Excellent interviewing skills by Lewis there. I thought we were going back and forth. Yeah. But no, you're right. Listen, Robert Whittaker is one of those guys that always gets better as well. His movement, as you said, is great. His takedown defense. I do see Gastelum probably being an easier fight than Romero. Although, as you said, Gastelum is no walk in the park. But we appreciate you joining us. As I said, your fight against Chad Mendes was sensational. I hope you get the title fight in 2019, whenever it is. Anything you want to say before we let you go?
Just thanks for having me. It was a good chat. I'm glad I got to wear the pink earphones and the world see it. So all good. Yeah, give us a plug on social media. Shout out to my sponsors, Southern Cross Industries, Unibet, Muscle Meals. Yeah. Just say thanks for having me.
Right on.
Very cool.
We really appreciate it, Alex. Really do. As I say, big fan here. Last fight was awesome. All the best for 2019, and talk to you soon, mate.
Thanks, champ. Appreciate it.
All
right.
And that was that.
Alex
All
Volkanovski.
right, look at that. Alexander Volkanovski through what seemed to be a time machine or some kind of echoey tunnel in Australia. But nonetheless, fantastic to have him on the show. He's a great fighter, man. I don't know if you saw that fight against Chad Mendes.
I did. Yes, I did.
Fucking awesome.
He's incredible.
Yeah, very good.
And very nice guy. Usually, and to be honest with you, usually people with the Australian accent, really grates on my fucking ears. Him, not so bad. Not as bad as I thought it would be.
Whoa. Mrs. Bisping is full Australian. You know
but
this.
she sounds like an English princess. She doesn't sound like all that twangy, like,
When we first got together, she used to hate speaking, and she used to try and not use her accent, because me and my mates, we come from a small town. You know what I mean? Like New York's a multicultural city. So is London. Clitheroe, where I'm from, you know what I mean? You don't get a lot of different people, you know, and anyone from out of Clitheroe used to get funny looks. So we were like, wow. So we'd make fun of her accent all the time. But so she started dumbing it down. But I love the way she talks. So you watch your goddamn words, Lewis. But yeah, once again, Alex, thanks for joining us. Whilst we were listening to that, as we mentioned, that was a pre-recorded interview, Lewis. I just had a little look on MMA Junkie to see if there was any subjects perhaps that we need to talk about. And as you know, we were talking about Colby Covington not getting the title shot. And there's a big article on MMA Junkie where obviously they've spoken to him, and he is not a happy camper. He is not a happy bunny. Oh, no. Says some very, very choice words. Do you have it in front of you, Lewis?
I don't.
I'll allow you to take the reins here.
Why don't you pull it up on the screen, Harrington, so our video listeners or video watchers can have it as well.
Okay, well, here's what it's okay.
Right here. Colby Covington rails at UFC over title snub, vows to confront Dana White. Do we have a quote here? Let's see. Until they gave me what they promised and hold up their word, I'm not doing anything for them, Covington says. They're going to have to give me a title shot or release me. So, okay. Yeah,
well, he goes on also to say, what is it? Let me just find it. It says that, talking about Dana, it just goes back to what we said earlier. Not the smartest move to be talking shit about Dana. He says, this is what the UFC does. You win something, you do whatever. They promise you, you're going to get this. Then they don't put it in writing. They promise you because it helps them do stuff like this so they can do shady things on you. Then they just rip everything up. Then he goes on. Dana meets with everybody else. He met with Usman while Usman's boring. And then they fix that relationship. I asked for a meeting and he won't even talk to me. So you know what? I'm going to find Dana White, because he's not a hard guy to find. I'm going to find Dana White. I'm going to get in his face, and we're going to see what he has to say on why this isn't happening. I'm going to get an answer. Oh, you're really fucking smart. So you're threatening, like slight threatening Dana White there. Not the smartest move. You think that's the way to get a title shot? My word. And then there's
that's a big thing, though. In interviews and on social media, there's a difference than reality. He's talking all this fucking game. Once he's in Dana White's face, I'm telling you right now, it's going to turn into Mr. White. I'm sorry, Mr. White, whatever you need. Look, he's doing a thing on social media. He's building a character for himself. He has to do that. So he has to save face. He has to fucking talk all this shit right now. Otherwise, what is he going to do? He's going to roll over and take it? Then all the other shit that he talks is kind of bullshit. So I sort of understand his angle here. And to be honest with you, I think Dana and the UFC sort of understand that as well. I don't know that they always just pay attention to every interview and every little fucking shit talking that happens on Twitter. And I think once Dana White, he's actually in front of Dana White, I don't think he's going to be talking as much shit as he's talking right now.
No, definitely not. But he does go on to say, this is kind of funny. He says, I'm a personality now. That's what you don't understand, bro. I don't need the UFC. I can go make money in other places. I don't need the UFC. The UFC needs me. And if they want to do business, they better come back and be a man of their word. And when they do business with me, I know what I deserve and what I've earned and what they've promised for me for months. I'm standing my ground. For the third time, I think, this podcast, ooh, he's going to stand his ground. He knows his worth. He's a personality. Well, fucking go off and be a personality then, pal.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, because he's not that exciting to watch. But I don't want to turn this into let's hate Colby Covington, because I don't hate Colby Covington. As I said at the top of the show, positivity is key. Mental health is key. Zen, being nice to one another's. It's important. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, Lewis. It really is. That's like my mantra these days. That's how I live my life. I don't lose my temper ever.
Yeah. No, I know. You're very
try and push
professional.
it. Try and push my buttons. Try and push my buttons.
I'll do that. I'll do that next Saturday in person at Williamsburg MMA.
Go ahead.
Show you what the fuck's up. Push your buttons.
Next Saturday morning, Williamsburg MMA. All right.
That's it.
And pushing buttons isn't like, code for sex talk, Lewis.
We're gonna
Okay.
It's just me and you deeply kissing each other on the mats.
Harrington standing there licking his lips, saying, would it be appropriate for me to join in?
Bonus footage, man. We got bonus footage.
We really do.
I'm not editing anything. Whatever happens, boys.
Oh, I know it. We got some questions.
Whatever happens. Okay, let's
real quick, I want to say, let me plug a couple things. Number one, go to our iTunes right now, leave us a 5-star ranking and a positive review. It helps us move up in the rankings on iTunes, and that's how more people discover us. iTunes is the #1 source of people searching for podcasts, so if you guys do that, it helps more people discover the show. That's the #1 most important thing you can do for us, is tell your friends about the show, or write reviews, let people know about the show. Also, go to our YouTube page now. We officially cracked 30,000, which is just 20,000 shy of our goal. Not a big deal. 30,000 was my actual goal. So we went above and beyond, in my mind. So Michael Bisping had this crazy standard.
You can thank me for that. You can thank me for that, because I've been plugging it like a mother effer on social media. So you're welcome, Lewis. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And also regarding iTunes reviews, Imran, the owner of Sanibel, you see I'm wearing this shirt. I've been a member of Team Sanibel for quite some time. They're doing some signature Michael Bisping gloves. And he said, would you like some to give away to regular listeners of the podcast?
Yes.
And I said, yeah, sure. And he came up with some fantastic ideas, which we will put into effect. But he said, ask people to leave a review of your podcast on iTunes, and then we will select a few people from there and send them some signed gloves. So we'll put that into effect soon, and we'll have some signed gloves, some little freebies and competitions. Holding.
Put it in effect right now. Go to iTunes right now. This is in effect. We're going to start picking very soon. Go today if you're listening to the show. Leave. If we have to buy the gloves, we'll buy the fucking gloves. Okay? It's not a big deal.
No. Yeah, but we can go one better. I don't want them to leave a review. I want them to show that they've showed it to a friend, leave a 5-star ranking and a review, mention Sanibel in the comment, and we'll send you some gloves.
The more...
Or something like that.
Hold on. Let me say something. Can I help?
We gotta get more people, not just fucking people that already listen.
This is what I do. Okay? Just trust me.
Doggy.
The more doggy.
Doggy.
He started sarcastically calling me doggy like a week ago, and now it's a new fucking thing that I've noticed, okay? Listen, the more barriers you give these people, the more buttons you make them click, the more times they have to do things, the less they're going to do it. Let's just get them engaged. Let's get some reviews. Let's get us to #1 on iTunes. Get us to the #1 spot on iTunes. That's what we want to be at in the sports category. We see all these other podcasters that have 1/20th the talent of us. We won't name names, but 1/20th the talent of us easily, okay? And they're #1, #5, #10, whatever it is. We need to be up in the rankings on iTunes, and that's what we want. So go leave a review, and we're going to give away some fucking gloves just for a review.
Well, I agree, but I will not beg for listeners, subscribers, or anything.
This
okay?
is why we're not #1.
Do it.
No, stop. Don't listen to him. Don't listen.
Listen. I don't fucking beg.
We're not
anything,
begging. We're
okay?
asking.
If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you want to do this, you can do that. If you want some free gloves, then leave a positive review, 5-star ranking, all that good shit. But if we're not number one, if you don't tell your friends this time next year, it's over.
It's over.
No
bitch.
more Believe You Me.
We'll stop doing it. We'll
Believe You Lewis.
Yeah, we'll do just me and Harrington. You want that show? Look at Harrington. Look how excited Harrington is. He would sell you out in a heartbeat, Michael Bisping. Look at his face. Look at him.
He's so excited right now.
Look at him.
Like, oh, yeah. Double thumbs up.
And also,
yourself,
if you
Lewis.
love the show, we have 107 episodes available on demand. Go to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code BYM. Get a free trial for 14 days. Uncensored, ad-free as well. I know a lot of people hate listening to ads, and you get it a day before it goes to iTunes or YouTube or anywhere else. Okay, let's get a couple video questions to end the show. And you can send these video questions to bympod@gmail.com. We always pick at least 2, maybe 3, depending on how ugly you guys are. We got them? Who's this from? And set it all up. There we go.
Sorry, it's Matthew Lightfoot. You may know him from Fortnite.
Matthew Light. Oh, do I play Fortnite with Matthew? That's fun.
Yeah. When I was over your place for the Mark Hunt fight in Australia, we played Fortnite with this guy.
Love it. Good. Send us the question.
Hey! Well, can you guys just stop circle jerking each other for a second? Because I don't play Fortnite. I'm a grown man. I'm very busy. Matthew Lightfoot. He looks like one of your type of crew. He really does. He looks like your mental age. Matthew, you look about 12. You know. The fringe is an issue for me already. A little slightly chavvy with the jacket all the way up like that, you know, unless he's in somewhere very cold and it's raining. In fact, I can see rain in the background, so I take that back. Matthew, light of foot, light of haircut, roll tape, play question.
Hey guys, it's Matt from Liverpool. I'm a huge fan of the show. I'm in here in my own garage, which I've got a speed bag and a heavy bag.
Hell
not much. I just want to ask if you guys have your own gym in your house, and if not, what would you want to put in it? Keep up the great work, Shannon. You look great today. And Lewis, get better at Fortnite. I beat you before.
Ooh, you cunt.
So, Lewis, hold on. So, in your spare time, you play Fortnite, and you're not even playing it at a very good standard.
The kids have gotten so fucking good. I've gotten pretty good. Like, I've been playing a lot of fucking Fortnite. I play all night and all morning. Like, I come home at night, late at night, then I get up, play for a couple hours. I play way too much. And the standard, I've only won the game twice ever in the solo battle royale version. They've gotten so good that it's like damn near impossible. But I will say, I don't play because I'm good. I play because I have a chance to talk shit with some fans, which is a fun thing to do. Just like it's a different experience. Like, and I don't know. I talked to these. That came out. I remember that we talked to him. I spoke to him that day more than I spoke to my fucking sister in the past 5 years. We like when you're playing video games with a person for that long, you're having these conversations. You're like, I don't even fucking know this person, but I've spoken to this person more than I speak to most of my family members. So it's sort of a weird fucking bonding thing that I do. And I have this group of dudes that I play with on the internet. It's kind of stupid, but I do like it. Great question though. You have a great home gym, Michael Bisping, that's covered in fucking.
Yeah, sure. I was just going to say Matthew Lightfoot. We'll get to that question in a minute and big up the Liverpool Massive. But you're absolutely right, Louis. See, I used to enjoy video games, and I still do. I just don't play them very often these days. I've never actually played Fortnite, but Call of Duty. I used to love Call of Duty. Great game. The problem is, though, now they've got so good, as you were just saying. I play Call of Duty now and again, and it's been a long time, but I say, oh, yeah, let's have a go. Me and Callum will sit down. Chum, dead. So I respawn. Chum, dead. I'm like, what the fuck? It's the most infuriating experience ever. I'm like, you know what? Screw this game. It's stupid. I don't want to play anymore. So thank you, Matt Lightfoot, for sending in the question. Yeah, got a home setup. It's a little messy right now, but I got my bag. I got a speed bag. I got a mace ball, and I got a heavy bag. And then I got a squat rack, bench press. I got a few things. I got the Peloton bike. And I got the treadmill. And I got some wrestling mats as well. Just right now, we had our, this is what happens at my house. We had some work done almost 2 years ago at our house, and still the garage is upside down. So I said recently, I'm going to clear out the garage, get it all taken care of, and get the home gym back up and running. But yeah, it is handy because then you don't have to get in. Sometimes I just want a quick half hour. Oh, who's calling? Someone's calling me. Oh, geez.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
No, we got rid of. Bloody, oh, she's doing it again. Go away. Hey, Beck! Joyce is calling for Lucas. Please figure it out ASAP.
Who's Joyce?
Well, because
Lucas is 7.
So yeah, no, he's 8, but he has an iPad. And it's his mom's iTunes account logged in, which she's got logged into this computer. And his friend that moved away to Las Vegas, she's a girl, and she's on his case constantly. She will call back, and she'll call back. She tries to FaceTime at 8 o'clock in the morning. And we hang up because we're in bed, on a Saturday, and she'll just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. I'm going to smash that iPad. And if she calls and interrupts this podcast one more time, I'm going to smash this computer. But no, the home gym, it is good to have a home gym because sometimes you just want to do a quick 45-minute workout, 30-minute workout. For me to get to the gym, it takes longer to get there and back. So having some stuff at home is beneficial.
Yeah, I had the place that I just moved out of. I guess it's been like 6 months now, but I had a home gym and I would rarely use it. I think when you pay, I go to Equinox now, which is a very nice high-end gym that's pretty expensive.
Bougie.
And it is bougie, and I'm not rich by any means, but I committed to spending that money on that. Number one, I really like a fucking steam room. But number two, when you spend that much money, you're going to use it. When you're going to commit to it, I feel like you're going to use it. You hear all these like Planet Fitness gyms or whatever it is, and it's $15 a month. It's so easy to not show up for one of those gyms. There we go. Rebecca Bisping making her appearance. The only reason the fans even watch anymore, to be honest.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
They love you.
I think it's true.
Yeah, it's true, babe. It's true. Oh, ho, ho. Hey, we never spoke about this at all. But tomorrow is the big day. We had the Bachelor. Tomorrow is the day Alfie gets his balls chopped off.
It was all for nothing.
So we didn't have the threesome.
He didn't have a threesome with Ayumi.
Nothing.
He didn't get his end away. He didn't get his leg over. He didn't sow his wild oats, however you want to put it. But tomorrow, this woman here, you can tell that only a woman would do this, Lewis, because she has booked him in to have his balls chopped off without my knowledge, without my say-so.
You know why?
You've known about this.
Lewis is trying to speak.
Oh, sorry, Lewis.
A man is trying to talk.
She's trying
Rebecca,
she's trying
know
to
your place.
She's trying to emasculate you in your own house. I know what's going on. We all know what's going on. But it's fine, to be honest. At this point, it's got to be done. But what I say, Michael Bisping, what you need to do, because you fucking love Alfie and you've committed to that dog. He's Dito too. This dog is your next Dito. You need to go give that dog a fucking hand job. And he's got one chance. We got one night. It depends on how much you love that dog. What do you want me to say?
Hold on. But hold on. Rebecca said to me this morning, and this is why this conversation came up. She said, Alfie has stopped leaking jizz.
He has.
Because he knows.
It's not. It wasn't.
The leakage has stopped.
Can we just say it's not jizz? It's not jizz.
Don't say jizz on here.
Well, it's not semen.
Very unladed. Don't say that either. That's gross.
What am I meant to say?
Pre-cum?
You don't refer to.
What is it?
It's actually called. I think it's called smegma.
Smegma. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
smegma.
just That's what happens when you get dick cheese.
To keep everything lubricated. I don't know about dick cheese.
I know about smegma because my son is not circumcised.
You are a smeg face. You're a smeg head.
And I am circumcised.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And I had to go and do the research of speaking of smegma, that guy. I had to go do the research and figure out how to clean a child's dick. By the way, don't check my fucking hard drive. Like how to clean 5-year-old's dick is in my recent search history.
Sorry, I missed that. So your son is not circumcised.
My son is not circumcised, and I am. Okay. So I have to literally.
You are circumcised.
Oh yeah.
So we'll save this for another episode of the podcast because there's no need to be circumcised in this day and age.
I know.
Well, there's never in any age. I mean, what are you doing? Why would you take your son and chop a part of his penis off?
Well, let me tell you, this, and we should talk about this on another show because there's a whole documentary out on Netflix now, which I have not watched, about the circumcision industry. I was so passionate. Like, my son's being circumcised. I don't care. He's going to look like me. He's not going to have a weird.
For what reason, though?
Because it was a psychological thing in my head that this is the way that a dick is supposed to look. It's bizarre. And a lot of people feel this way. Now, my son's mother, she was sending me videos of babies being circumcised, just fucking strapped down. It's just awful. It's so awful. And the day we had him, I remember this is like a moment in like my life. You know, we had him, he was born at like 3 a.m. He comes out, you know, 20 hours in labor. And they were like, all right, well, we're going to wait till tomorrow to circumcise him. And I remember I spent the night with him, held him for a few hours. The next morning we woke up. And at that point, you know, this little kid, it was so obviously my job to protect him from somebody hurting him in any way that like the instinct kicked in. I was like, you're not putting a fucking blade near my son. And something I'm so happy it did because it was such an immature thought that I was having. But I'm glad they waited till the next morning because at that moment I might have just handed him off and might have just done it because that was the plan the whole time. And something happened.
Did they give you a choice though, or did they just say that that's what we're doing?
No, they give you a choice. They give you a choice, but it's sort of implied that that's what you're doing. Like in America, I think the numbers used to be
in England.
Hold on.
No, it's okay.
Shame. You don't interrupt. No. Rule 17. You can't interrupt. It digitizes and have a little decorum about yourself, Rebecca, please.
No, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say in England, it's kind of I think it's more common just to.
Well, nobody's circumcised in England.
No, not really at all. It's
anyway, I gotta go.
Okay, baby.
Okay.
No, all this talk about dick, she's gotta get out of here. It's too much.
Oh my god! No, just no. I was gonna say. He said all this talk of dicks, you gotta leave. I was gonna say, so you had 24 hours and you knew that James was gonna lose a piece of his manhood, much like Alfie. But me being the father that I am, I organized the bachelor. We tried to get his leg over, and you made no attempts to find him a suitable mate.
I jerked him off. I did what I'm telling you to do.
Which is
you didn't follow through with anything.
Give me one of them.
Give my hand.
Oh dear. I think it's a suitable time for you to walk away, Rebecca. And thanks, baby.
I want to watch that documentary though. It looks really good.
Suitable time for us to.
We'll wrap it up.
The next video question.
We'll do one more video question.
One more question.
Let's go.
This is Max, and he has a challenge for you guys.
Okay, bring it, bitch.
Hello, everyone at the Gas Digital Network. My name is Max. I'm from Canada. Big fan of the show. I know both Mike and Lewis like to train in their own capacities, and I was wondering if you guys were looking for a new challenge in 2019. My question for you guys is, have you ever thought about registering to a marathon? If so, I want to register to the Lake Placid Marathon in June, and I was wondering if I could compete with you guys in this great discipline that's running. So give me some feedback. Have a nice day and Happy New Year to everyone at Gas Digital. Thank you.
That was George Taint Pierre.
That was Max, was it? Max. And Max asking us to run a marathon at Lake Placid, correct? Was that right?
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun.
So Lake Placid is actually a place because I've only heard of that through a movie.
Yeah. Is it a horror movie, Lake Placid? Is it about like a crocodile?
Well, this is where I was going. Lake Placid is a horror movie, and he looks like the type of guy that you might see there because he definitely looked a little freaky with those eyes and the question.
Doggy, he never.
I would not.
Rewind it while we talk and play it, and don't play any audio because I was going to say I don't think he blinked at all throughout the entire video. And I'd like to see it.
I am not running around a place called Lake Placid with him. He will fucking murder me. Look, no blink.
No blinking.
I mean, thanks for the question, Max. Violet Gentleman cap. Big up for that.
Hell yeah.
Still no blink.
Nothing.
I think that says something. We should do a study.
No, that was almost a blink. It was God wanted him to blink, and he stopped himself.
The devil in his shoulder was like, don't blink.
Don't fucking blink, Max. You are from French Canada. You do not blink.
We are. He's intoxicated. Look, he's not blinking.
He's not blinking.
And maybe he's nervous. Maybe he's nervous. You know, it's a big deal getting on the show, Lewis. You know.
It's so funny. Somebody asked me, they were like, a fan came out to a live show recently and was like, hey man, I sent in a video question. You guys played it. He was like, do you like play like every video question or like, just like, is there a lot? And I was like, well, I'd say we get 5 or 6 video questions a week. 2 of them are good. And then 3 or 4 of them are just fucking bizarre. And we would never play them in a million years. We should do a whole show of just the fucked up bizarre questions.
Yes. I want to see these. See, here's the thing, everybody, right? You're pulling the strings at your end.
Puppet
I want
master.
to see these. I want to be privy.
You're just one of my puppets.
Add me in to the bym@gmail.com fucking email chain, please.
Done.
If that's not too much to ask. I would like to see these questions. Marathon, 26 miles. Would love to do that. That is a personal challenge of mine.
You should.
I would like to do. Thank you for the question, Max. I appreciate that. Thanks for calling in. We're just busting your balls. If you watch the show, you know that we do that. Nothing but love for everybody that listens to the show and sends in questions. 26 miles. I would love to do that. I will do that. My knee is still bothering me. Once I've taken care of that, yeah, I'm going to run a marathon. Maybe this year. If not this year, for sure next year. I could run a marathon now.
You could. You run 4 or 5 miles at a time, like daily. So, I mean, it's not like you couldn't train your body to do it.
I could run a marathon now, just not particularly quickly. I used to run a lot, but now since I got the Peloton bike, I'm just
What's the longest
Pelotoning.
you've ever run?
Oh, probably like 12 miles, I think, or 10 miles, something like that. but I don't do that. I don't do that very often. There's no need. There's no need.
One time I was going to run from Harlem to Astoria to my buddy's place. We were writing together, and we were going to do like an afternoon writing session. And I was like, I'm just going to run there. I was like in good shape at the time. It's like a 5-mile run. I was like, that's about the max where I'm going to take it. I'm not going much beyond 5 miles. And I ran, and my cell phone died, and I got lost along the run. And I just remember at one point I'm on Randall's Island, just like running along like a construction site, like in the dirt. Like it's just like open air with seagulls. And I just like, my goal is like, I'm not going to stop running until I get to his fucking house. And I'm just like, literally, it was like a movie. I was like, where the fuck am I? And I had to stop running. I had to just walk around and finally eventually get there 3 hours later.
I do that every time when I go to a new city. I like to run, and I go out the hotel and I literally have no idea where I'm going. And that's how I like to find my bearings. Normally, I do ask like the bellman or whatever, or the concierge, say, hey, what's a good way to run? Where's the downtown area? Where's there a park or something like that? But sometimes, same thing. I end up in the most weird, random, fucking dangerous neighborhoods about to get shot. But yeah, all right. Well, I think on that note, we'll wrap this one up, Lewis. Great show.
Indeed.
Thank you to Anthony Smith. Thank you to Alexander Volkanovski. Thank you all for listening. And until next time, which will probably be Wednesday or Friday this week, keep an eye out for it. Much love. All the best.